Hey, good morning, guys. I just wanted to send you another video, make sure everything's going well with your research paper. A couple things as I'm looking at your annotated bibliographies, as I'm looking at just your topics. I know I've said this before, but you're not there in front of me, so I don't know who's listening, so I'll send it out more and more. You need to use the databases. You need to use the databases. You need to use the databases. That is a huge component of the research paper. There's an actual element on the rubric about use of sources, and use of sources means do not just Google your topic. Look, what I've done here is I Google search depression and social media. All right, I did that, and I also on my top tab here, and I'll switch over there in a little bit. I went through the databases and the same terms, and I want you to see what you get back, and I want you to see. I'm just really, believe it or not, look at it this way. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you be able to kind of cultivate a more academic argument. Look, so I depression and social media. First of all, the first thing that comes back is an ad. That's just the way the search engine works. But when you go down here and this is a .org. This is the second hit, Healthline, and there's nothing wrong with Healthline, but look, it's selling you shit. Its job is to get your eyes on the screen. The job is not to cover something in a complex way, in an academic way, with sophisticated language. None of that is the goal. The goal is to get your eyes on this damn screen. It's two curse words. Sorry about that. I'm going to tone it down. But look, this is what it's selling you Lyft, right? It's selling you Charles Schwab. That just went away. Maybe it heard me say it. It's linking you to other articles for more clicks, for more advertisements. The goal is not to disseminate information. The goal is to sell shit. That's three. I think that's it. I think three is it. It's Healthline. I don't know who writes this stuff. It says Geekin. My ability to pronounce the name is not important. But my point is, who is this person? Why is this person an expert? We don't know. And we look at it says fact checked. I don't know what that means either. It might make me feel good, but it doesn't necessarily mean anything. I don't know what that means. It's fact checked, and again, it's written by someone. But what's the person's qualifications? We can't click on that. We don't know that. Look, we get more advertisements. The goal of Google and these search results is, look, medical news today. I promise you they sell us something here too. This is, look, it's Fact Check 2 by Jasmine Collier. I don't know who that is. I don't know. I mean, what makes that person, what makes that person credible? What makes that person authentic, or not authentic, an authority on psychology or social media? It's called Medical News Today. That's wonderful. I could start a blog tomorrow called Medical News Tomorrow. It has these notes to make you feel like it's legit. But look at what it's trying to do. It's trying to sell us things. Wayfair. Is this letting you know what I've been buying? I think my wife shops on Wayfair. Again, it's selling online education. It's selling, what is this? This just popped up. Do I want an email? No, I don't. All right. So do not Google. All right. You can Google for fun. You should Google, and look, you can link it to social media. They have all those tabs that were on the left on these articles. That's so fun, but it's not academic. We need to be able to differentiate how we read and how we search for information for fun, and how we do it in an academic setting if we're trying to prove a point to an academic reader. All right. So if we went instead to the databases, and I go to EBSCO Academic Search Complete, and we and we search the same terms, depression and social media, the same terms, look what comes up. Academic journal. And I clicked on full text because I don't want to get results that I can't actually access. So Full text. This is from an academic journal. So what we know about this is, and maybe I haven't even looked at this, so hopefully it's not garbage. We need to get garbage to this too, I suppose. But look at right away. The first result, it's by a master's student, a doctorate student, a registered nurse, another doctorate student, and it's from a research center. Compare that to the people who are writing on these random online news sites. These people are not authorities. These people are just, they have a computer, and that's wonderful. And that shows how democratic the internet is. But it also, with the advent of the internet and being able to disseminate so much information via the internet, it means that there's more good sources, but it also means there's more garbage out there. And so when we do this research paper, we want to make sure we're using the good sources. Look, the second one, another academic journal, Egyptian Journal of Hospital Medicine. You go to the PDF full text. Let's see here. We'll see who these people are. They come from a university. We know it's been vetted. We can maybe even find look, the methods. It's an academic Dr. Abdullah. I can't pronounce the last name, but again, we know these people's credentials. We know where they come from. They come from a university. They are doctorates. They show their research methods. They show their results. This is very academic, and they're academic journals. But even we'll get stuff through the databases. It's not just academic journals, which is important, and you should look at those. But this is, what is this one? Humanist Magazine, but it's still been vetted, all right, through EBSCO, and it's a periodical though, so it's just a magazine. It's probably going to be more digestible than an academic journal. And you should vary. You should have some academic journals. You should have some periodicals. That's fine, but you should use. So this is by Mark Dunbar, and I wonder what we know about him. But we know this has been vetted. I wonder what we will know if at the end. Look, I mean, we know he's not a doctor, right? But it tells you something right here about who he is, freelance writer. So we know, is he as authoritative as other people? Not so much, but all that information is kind of right up front, and we can assess the information. And you could just see academic journal, and it's not like there's not a lot of hits here. How many hits? 231. I mean, we got plenty of results, and we would have to narrow this down even further. So it's not that that the databases don't give you results. They give you results. Look, I mean, this is all about social media. It's all about impacts of social media, and we can change the search. But there's plenty here. You just have to go and look for it. Let's see if there's other periodicals. And we could just search periodicals. Like we can come over here and just search magazines. So we had the Humanist one, Scientific American Mind, Time Magazine. I mean, again, you can search academic journals, which are by definition academic, but they also vet periodicals like Time Magazine, and we have access to that. You don't have to, like, if you go to, well, maybe you can actually, but we pay for these databases, the school does, and so it's essentially paying for hundreds and hundreds of subscriptions to academic journals and magazines. So you don't have to be a subscriber to a magazine. You can go through the databases and get that information there. This is Therapy Today. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of the databases. You need to use it. It's academic now. When you're done with this class and you're hanging out with friends and you're posting stuff online, Google search, right? But as we work on this assignment, please use the databases, show that you can engage with the databases and kind of the sophisticated texts that are on the databases. Along those lines, when you use your sources and you incorporate them into your essay, this is a key point. In your signal phrase, when you introduce the quote and you say, like, let's say, let's go back and say all results. And we look at this and we're going to talk about, and we might even want to do Dr. Michelle Drouin. We could even Google search this lady and introduce. But when we introduce what we find in this article, when we introduce it in our research paper, we want to say something like Dr. Michelle Drouin, professor at Purdue University and researcher, claims such and such. So when we introduce sources and we talk about who wrote it, and we have to do that for the citations, the author name and the page number. And if you have these PDFs, they have page numbers. So you can see right here, there's a page number right there. So author's name and page number. But when we introduce the author in our signal phrase, we should also explain why that person is credible or an authority on the subject. That's part of it. All right. So here it's easy to do. You say, hey, look, this she's a doctor. She's at Purdue University. She's at this research center. And so you use that information as you introduce that source. If you were to do it back here and you click on this one, just because we've been there, and you say, look, it's written by Geegan Mamasaur. And then what do you say about it? A writer for Healthline. But what does that tell you? What is Healthline? I've never heard of Healthline before. So when we use sources, we're not just using sources because we are told to use sources. We are using sources that are credible and academic, that when the reader reads, they say, oh, this person knows what they're talking about. If it's just a random person, you might as well cite your siblings or your parents. But that's not what we're doing, right? We're not just citing random people. You just have a friend say something that you want them to say and plug it in. But that's not what we're doing. We're finding people who know something more than us on the topic, and we're citing them. So that means you have to build up, hey, look, this person really knows what they're doing. I hope this makes sense. I hope you guys are doing well. If you have any questions, send me an email. I'm happy to help. All right.